Today I have the Klarus Mi1C for review. This is a small EDC style light with a great pocket clip, as you can see here. It includes a rechargeable 16340 battery and has onboard micro USB charging. More on that in a bit. Thanks to bestlight.io for sending me this light to take a look at. This is a very small light in length. This is a very small light at 54.6 millimeters in length and 21.8 millimeters in diameter. Weight came in at 1.55 ounces with the clip and the battery. Now that's really light. It's made of aluminum and it's very nicely anodized black here, as you can see. It's got a little bit of wear in it, and really it's just dirt and dust because I've been carrying this in my pocket. The body has a nice texture here and it's comfortable in the hand. The battery cap on the end here has some flat spots which helps to grip when turning, and it is magnetic here. The head is ribbed for heat dissipation and grip, and it is an electronic switch. When I compare it to my Olight S Mini here in copper, you can see they are exactly the same length. I mean exactly. In diameter ways, the Klarus might be even just slightly smaller, but these two lights share a lot of similar design features. Just a few other look at it. This light breaks down into three major pieces. The bezel can be unscrewed with the lock ring pliers with these little teeth that are inside here, but be careful not to scratch the lens. There are springs on both sides of this light, and if you remove the spring in the tail cap, you can remove the magnet in here too. It's not glued in. The clip is removable if you undo the body here, and then there's an O-ring, and then the clip will slide off. If you loosen up the body ring, you can adjust what position the clip is in and then tighten it back down and it will stay captured like this. It won't slide around really. That's a nice touch that the Olight doesn't have. The LED in use in this light is a Cree XPL HI V3 in cool white. I didn't observe any off colors in the beam, and this light features 4 main modes with 2 flashing modes with soft mode changes in between each. There's no direct access to high or low mode, and mode spacing, in my opinion, could be improved. As you can see in the table here, there's a big difference between high at 600 lumens and medium at 45 lumens. Low is listed at 10 lumens, and there is a moonlight, thankfully, at 1 lumen. Strobe is at 600, and oddly, SOS is only at 45 lumens. Usually that's at maximum brightness. These were all with the 16340 battery, and you get less performance out of a CR123. I would really like to see another mode between high and medium, something in the 150 or 200 lumens mode, as I think that'd be really useful. On high mode, I noticed a little bit of flicker between the beginning before it stabilizes. I tried to capture this on video, but it was just not very noticeable. This light also has a blink system to show video capacity, and consult your manual to see the values for that. There seems to be an error maybe due to translation in the manual about lockout mode. I found it hard to get this light out of lockout mode if I followed the manual until I figured it out. To activate lockout mode, you press and hold the button when the light is off, and you get 3 blinks. And at that point, when you do that, if you press again, you get 2 blinks. And that indicates the light is locked. The manual indicates that this means the lock has failed, but if you just press the button, you get the 2 lights. To unlock, you press 3 times quickly, and the light's now unlocked. It flashes 3 times, and now I've got modes again. This lens here is very floody light thanks to its drop style lens. It has no reflector inside the light to keep it as short as possible. I measured the lens at 16 millimeters in diameter and 5 millimeters tall. Personally, I'd prefer a TIR style reflector, like what my Olight has here. I prefer that beam pattern. It gives a hotter center. Here's the beam pattern of the Klarus Mi1C. And as you can see here, it's got a very even beam, and there's absolutely no hot center to it. And the edges get a little bit fuzzy, but it's a fairly hard close. Compare that to my Olight here, S Mini, and as you can see, it's got a much tighter beam with a hotter center. And back to the Klarus here, I'll insert what this looks like on a wall and probably do an outside shot as well. Here's my night shots for the Klarus. I'm going to walk out, and since this light is so wide and the modes are so different in lumens, I'm going to walk out here in high and show you how wide this is. So as you can see there, it's just really wide, and it doesn't go that far. If I pan down, again, it's so wide. Here's the Olight S Mini, and you can see the beam pattern on it. I've got the light where the camera is, and for me this is just a normal beam pattern, pretty nice. If I pan up, here is the same shot roughly with the Olight on high, and you can see it's a more usable beam. And here is the Klarus again, so very wide. It does have a nice soft ramp, as you can see there. One thing I also want to show here is how drastic the edge here is, and this is on high, and you can see I'm just moving across the beam here. It's a very sharp angle to turn off. This light does need a moderately high drain cell in order to get the full 600 lumens for more than a few seconds. Included is this Klarus USB rechargeable 16340 battery. It's stated at 700 milliamp hours, and it has a micro USB connector here at the top. And when it's charging, you get a red LED out of the top here, and when it's completely charged, it's blue. When I measured this light recharging, I measured it at 0.33 amps. I have no complaints with this battery. This light is also compatible with standard CR123 batteries as well, although you won't get as many lumens out of it. Here's a runtime graph I did on this with the included battery at full charge. As you can see, temperature regulation played a pretty big role in the output of this light, with light stepping down as it got hot. I think an additional mode between high and medium would be a nice compromise to get between usable light and heat. As an EDC, this is pretty darn great. I really like this captured pocket clip that you can adjust, and I like the big area here. It allows it for thicker pants like jeans, and when I compare it to my Olight here, you can just see it's a nicer design. I really like it. It's a stiff clip. I had no problems with it bending, and I like the little 3 cuts in it. There's also a magnet in the tail here that's strong enough to hold the light up on a magnetic surface, but it's not super strong or it's going to give you any trouble in the pockets. Here is the package the light came in, and it's a nice, I say this is a gift package. The light sits right in here, and it's very nice, very easy, very basic. What included in this is some extra O-rings and the manual, and that's it. I have an Olight S Mini in copper, and I really like to use it as an EDC. It's got that TIR style lens, which makes it a very useful beam. It's wide, but with a hot center. The Mi1C I thought would be very comparable and have added features like a magnetic tail clip and be lighter and have a great clip. But instead of its super floody nature, the lens kind of turned me off. I used this light out one night when I was photographing the sunset to navigate down some trails and out of Golden Gate Park in California. It did work for this, but I wish I would have had my Raylight TI LAN that I also had brought with me on this trip instead. Klarus was good for up-close work, but further away, even the super floody light provided long shadows and made it hard to determine the trail. And part of this was because I had already used up I had basically got it too hot on high where it throttled down. And I no longer had access to the high mode, so I was forced with only 45 lumens. Another mode in between the 645 lumens would really have helped here. In all fairness, this isn't a light to take on a hike. It's more of a normal urban EDC use light, and it does better there. It works well to find the screw that went underneath a piece of furniture, to make sure the mailbox is empty at night, and to avoid spiders in the backyard. Its clip is fantastic for EDC use. It's lightweight, it's well built, and it's rechargeable nearly anywhere, having micro USB on that battery. With the attractive box, I think it'd make a great stocking stuffer too. Take a look at the link in the description to check it out on bestlight.io. Liking this video and subscribing to my channel helps me to continue to bring new content to you. Thanks for watching.